Hello everyone, it's Carrie Todd from stampwithct. It's time for another Friday Finding Inspiration video for you. So it is now the month of February in 2022, and this month we're going to be finding inspiration in a little bit different way. Last month we found inspiration by casing the celebration brochure, projects from that. That was a lot of fun. And this month, we're going to be finding inspiration through social media, but we're going to be using posts that we see, colors that are found in those, ads that I find. So it's going to be really fun. We're going to not necessarily be looking at card projects that I see, but we're going to be using color combinations and just different things that we find through social media and inspiration there. So let's start with what I received over the holidays with a couple of Christmas cards was this awesome layered circle design. Now I had seen this a couple of times. I'm just going to look because I believe that this one is from my friend Sherry. She did an absolutely beautiful job. This is really, really cute. I'd seen this layout before and kind of forgotten about it. I knew I wanted to do something like this. I love these circles that you die cut or punch, and then you just cut them in half. It's such a cool look. And then I have another one from my friend Suzetta, another beautiful card. So I just love that these are both Christmas cards. They have a very different look to them, both beautifully done. So I knew I wanted to use this layout, and the inspiration that I got from the weather forecast for this bitter cold, this is just amazing to me. I was scrolling through and looking at the weather forecast and saw this that was predicting the snow and ice and sleet and everything. And I usually get things ready for my Facebook Live and for this video the weekend before. So this is actually a report that I saw on Sunday. And I was drawn to the colors. I thought, gosh, that just looks like maybe crushed curry is the yellow, real red or poppy parade. And then you've got a couple of different blues here. Misty moonlight, some maybe coastal cabana that's got the greenish blue, and also balmy blue. And then of course the white clouds. It immediately made me think of the cloud punch, but isn't this funny to find inspiration for crafting from the weather forecast? But that's what I did. So next I went on a search for a designer series paper that I could work with that had some of those colors, and I have to admit it was a little bit difficult to find something that had blues, yellows, and reds together. But I ended up pulling out this beautiful paper, which is the Abstract Beauty Specialty Designer Series paper. It's unique in the fact that it is a 4x6 designer series paper. Not something I've seen Stampin' Up! Do before, but this gives you so many possibilities for quick and beautiful projects. So let's take a look at this paper. You've got a lot of different patterns and colors. And in the process, I found this one. I found actually both of these. I thought that looked like a sky that had a lot of weather going on, a little bit of snow. I could just see in some of these designer series papers that this looked like weather patterns to me. So that's why I went ahead. I'll just finish showing you this paper. That's why I went ahead and pulled out these papers to use. Just a lot of fun. Okay, so I went ahead and cut some circles from a couple of the patterns, and I've got those pieces of designer series paper. So again, they're 4x6 pieces of designer series paper. Just cut some circles out of those that I wanted to use, and then I simply cut the circles in half. Okay, let me move some of these supplies out of the way. This is just a really fun project. It's going to be pretty quick as well. This one I thought was pretty neat to use as my background. So I hope you can kind of follow along with me where my thought process went. Let's go ahead and use just a thick, basic white cardstock. Let me grab a bone folder out of my basket. It doesn't look like I got one. There's one. And I'm just going to burnish that on the score line. So 8.5 by 5.5 scored at 4 1/4. And then this piece of Designer Series paper, again, it's 4 by 6. So it needed to be cut down just a little bit to 5 1/4 by 4. So I just cut that little bit off the end, and that made my card front. Now I'm using the Layering Circles dies. This is a great die set to have in your collection. And I just pulled 4 of those dies out, the different size circles. And I die cut from the Designer Series paper, and then I wanted one to be my sentiment piece. So I've cut a couple just in case. You know, sometimes I mess up. Okay, let's go ahead and bring in the pieces of Designer Series paper that I've cut in that are going to be our circles that we layer up. And I'm just trying to remember which way I wanted to do this. I'm going to lay this out so you can kind of visualize first what we're doing here and the way that this pattern works. It's really cool. So when you line these up at the edge and at the top, it gives you such a cool effect. And then when you add them, actually that one should be justified to this other end. When you add them to your card front, it almost gives you like this wave effect. Really super cool. So I'm going to end up moving that over just a tiny bit. Okay, so you see where we're going with this. Then I decided to bring in this awesome glittered ribbon that carried over from the holiday catalog and a stamp set that says Let It Snow. Now you're going to recognize the stamp set. We have used it several times over the past couple of years. And it's in the annual catalog, Snowman Season. Super cute. And that Let It Snow sentiment, love it. So I've got that sentiment in my Misty Moonlight ink. And we're going to put this card together right quick, y'all. So you'll have to let me know what you think about using our weather forecast as our inspiration. Something just a little bit different. And let me know if you've ever done that before. That's a little bit wonky. Let's try that one more time. I think I've got my stamp mounted a little bit wonky on my block, but we'll make it work. Try that one more time. I'm glad I cut 2 because and that one didn't do very good. 3rd time's the charm. That's why we've got 2 sides to our paper, right? That's got to be better. Voila, it is. Okay. So let's put this card together. I'm going to move those over out of the way and grab some liquid glue to adhere this piece of Designer Series paper down. I have to admit, this made me just really happy to find this fun color combo. And even though I ended up not using the yellow or the red, I still think it sent me down a great path of creativity. Okay, let's bring this one in and layer these pieces together. Just a little bit of liquid glue. And again, you want to bring this over to the edge and the top. That's what gives it that really great effect of a wave almost, or some blustery weather in this case. So I'm so glad that Suzetta and Sherry sent those Christmas cards. They just really inspired me. You know, sometimes we have inspiration and we forget about it. We set it aside, but I'm so thankful that I saved those cards. Okay. Now, this one, let me stop and think about what I'm doing here. This one is going to go this way. So I want to add my glue and justify it over here. This paper is just gorgeous. Well, I hope you are staying warm and safe. We are thankful for gas, heat, and a fireplace. And a pup to snuggle with. That always helps keep you warm too. Okay, so now we're ready to add those to our card front. This is just so fun, y'all. I love how this is turning out. And then we can bring this one right there. And this really is a pretty quick and easy process. And then I think what I'm going to do, Stampin' Seal Plus is so strong. But just a little bit there. It's not wanting to cooperate. Let me grab a glue dot instead. All of my adhesives are cold, you guys. And we're just going to take a piece of this ribbon and put it all the way across the front of the card. Right where that seam is. And I think once I put my sentiment on, that will help hold the ribbon in place. I may have to go back and put another little glue dot. I think so. Just put another one at this other end. That'll work. And then we'll put our Let It Snow. I think I may even pop that up with some dimensionals. We'll grab those. Love Stampin' Dimensionals. Hope I put that on the right side. I did. Glue it to my table. And we're just going to pop our Let It Snow right here. And that will finish our blustery winter card. So there you go, you guys. We used our weather forecast to inspire our creation today. I hope you love it. Just something fun. Okay, I will see you back again next Friday for another Friday Finding Inspiration video. See you soon.